Won't last long. It's painless. Okay.
Ken?
Hey, who we got today? Got Richard running camera. I have Steve Mantia here. James Gear. I saw your threshers on Facebook. It looks amazing.
Very nice.
Stopwatch has started.
All right.
And this should be relatively fun to do tonight. Gosh, this is March already.
Yes, it is. March. March. Was it March 4th?
Already. Taxes,
Yeah.
5 weeks away.
Just can't wait. Yeah, gotta get all that paperwork together.
Yes. All right, Richard, give us a countdown and let's have some fun like we always do with the best hobby in the world.
3, 2, 1.
The What's Neat This Week video podcast is supported by enthusiastic model railroaders just like you.
These are anyway.
And by GL Robotics. With over 61 colors of 3D printing filaments in stock, your gateway to new technology. Check out their website at glroboticsusa.com. Further support is provided by KR Models. We dare to build. Check out their website at krmodels.net. Additional support is provided by Spring Creek Model Trains, your destination for model trains. Stop in and say, wow. Check out their website at springcreekmodeltrains.com. And by Intermountain Railway Company, where the detail makes the difference. Check out their website at intermountain-railway.com. And by Roca Prototype Models. We make it real. Check out their website at www.rocamodels.com. Additional support is provided by Yelsma Graphics, America's leading distributor of quality railroad art and embroidered clothing since 1985. Check out their website at yelsma.com. Further support is provided by the NCE Corporation, the power of DCC. Visit their website at ncedcc.com. And thank you for supporting the What's Neat This Week podcast. This is the What's Neat This Week video podcast, show number 126. Did I say 126? 226. Oh my. How did we get there? For March 4th, 2023. I'm your host, Ken Patterson, the host of the What's Neat Show over at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine. And the videos that we've uploaded for that show, and I'm going to go over a few of them, the numbers are amazing. All the modelers are still out there. The hobby is alive and well.
Yes, it is.
The trestle video is up to 64,000 views as of my latest check this evening. Building that switchyard to photograph these Roca models, these safe pack auto racks. That was a good video because we built a switchyard where it was trackage on one side and then a loading facility on the other for either loading piggybacks or auto racks. It was a great video, how-to, showing you how to build all of that. 27,000 views. The shelf layout video, thank you very much, Jeff Schultz, for helping me with the edit on that project, is up to 19,000 views. And that NMRA show that we had here in St. Louis, that video's got 24,000 views. And the reason I brought this up was because I went across the board of all the other folks out there that make various types of videos for toy trains. And everything seems to be percolating. Everything's moving forward. There's been a bit of a lull as we're coming into spring, and that's to be expected. But our numbers are substantially above most of the folks that create videos like what we do, except for Luke Towan. He's still at 325 to 1 million on his videos because Luke is amazing, and I still want to know how you do that. Tonight I've got with me sitting on the set, off where Mike always sits, is Stephen Mantia. Hey, Steve.
Hello.
It's good to have you tonight.
I'm glad to be here. Very glad to be here.
And you're going to be talking about your train shows and something really cool on my driveway.
Yes, I cannot wait to talk about that.
On the other side of me, I've got James Regier.
Hi, everybody.
Who is actually, I saw these on Facebook last night, came up and finished his threshers, which I'll be excited to hear about tonight. Also, we've got Richard Bianco running camera for us this evening. Hey, Richard.
How you doing?
It's good to have you here tonight, and I'm glad to see the progress on your layout room is continuing. You were on a show just a couple of weeks ago giving us an update on where you were on that, and it's always awesome to find a new baby layout being born. So rock and roll. I don't know how else to word that. I'm going to shoot some video outside tomorrow of the Mississippi River. It is up. As you recall, last year it was very low, which was causing a great deal of concern for barge traffic. But, I mean, it's spring floods, and so far so good. The next thing I want to talk about is I heard in the news yesterday that there is a 3D printed rocket that's about to be launched up into space. This is a full-size rocket, and I look forward to learning more about that. I'm pretty sure we could Google it and learn a lot about that. But 3D printing technology was the one thing that Joe Fugate had said on a show a couple weeks ago, whereas that is a point of interest where so many people want to learn about that, and the resources are out there as this evolution of 3D printing continues to advance.
Well, I mean, I know there's places now where they are actually 3D printing houses that they have.
I've seen that, yes.
That they have
okay.
that CAD-controlled, basically a concrete extruder that lays down the houses layer on layer. So there's just about anything now that can be 3D printed.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is crazy. So I want to say that we're going to start out with a video that we received from Jason Thomas. You'll remember Jason's been on the show in the past. In fact, he made a What's Neat video on how to build scenery when he came down here in the studio. And that video did very well at the Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine's YouTube site. But I'm going to go ahead and let this video run. I think it's about 3 minutes. And Jason takes these weeds that he found out on the side of the tracks, and actually I've got some of them in my front yard from last year. I recognize what they were. It's a type of a thistle, I believe. But he's able to make beautiful little trees out of it. And what a resourceful, simple, cheap idea. So let's let this video run.
Step 1. Come to the sides of the railroad tracks anywhere, and if they have this stuff right here growing, you can pick it and make trees out of it. Step 2, paint them. Step 3, take your branch material or your, whatever you want to call it, branches for your tree material. There you go. Take Elmer's spray adhesive and then just spray it down. Take your tree material that you sprayed down with adhesive and however you want it to look is how it will look when you're done. Take it back. Step 5, spray it with spray adhesive one more time to lock in the foliage on the tree material. And depending on how many trees you want to do, this is the end result. Nice trees that you can put anywhere on your layout.
Thank you, Jason Thomas, for taking the time to create this video for our show. It was short, so I don't want to run it on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist Magazine, because usually those videos run for about 15 minutes. But thank you very much for making the effort, and it turned out to be decent-looking little trees.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
yes.
Rock and roll, Jason. We can't wait for you to come back to St. Louis again. That'll be fun. So, Steve Mantilla, you have changed venues of where your train show is held. Why don't you start talking about that and allude to what's on the driveway?
Okay. So we've decided that we've moved to a new location for our train show. Same name after the storm. We've decided to move to the Arnold Eagles Club at 1725 Jeffco Boulevard. Our train show is going to be on May 13th of this year. And we're hoping that it's a little bigger of a venue, and just hoping to get this turnout to have the same group of people that come to our show as they always do in that aspect. But it is a new location, and it might be a little easier to find Jeffco, Lee May Ferry, the same road, that type of thing.
It's a major
we should be able to-
thoroughfare.
Major thoroughfare, that's it exactly. Nice road to keep
And do
track
you have
of,
more
so.
square footage for more vendors?
Yes, we'll have more square footage for vendors, and I'm actually believe this time I might be able to, we're going to measure it out to do some things there, but actually I'm hoping to get one of the layouts to have a operating layout at the train show this time to try to do something a little more. We're going to definitely have food available, but I'm hoping to get a layout so that it keeps people more at the show, a little more to look at it, more to see in there.
That's really cool. So what phone number would vendors call to get access to tables at your show?
Okay, you give me a call at 314-369-3949, and just give me a call. And
Look at that. It's right at the bottom of the screen.
bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like
Does that
magic.
happen?
Yeah.
But no, give me a call, and if need be, I'll mail a flyer in that kind of that aspect. But we have been passing the flyers out at the different train shows we've been doing so far this year, and the turnout at all the shows that we've been at, whether it was specific train show we were at a couple weeks ago in the Museum of Transport, and even the big show that they had out at St. Charles a couple months ago, the turnout has been unbelievable. Just the people are out buying and just out. The hobby is very much alive.
Now, there
with
was
what
a
I'm seeing
great
that way.
American
So
train
the
show
great-
here in
yes.
St. Louis recently. How did that show work for you?
That show was very good. It was packed. It was a lot of people. Back to, I think it's your term, use the stroller crowd. There were so many little kids, and
Nice.
good and bad, but the little kids in there who see the trains and trying to keep the hobby alive. That aspect of just, you've got a different reach of it, that standpoint, and we're looking forward to it. We have a couple train shows coming up in March. The Queenie Park, the Boeing train show, and in Springfield, and even we're giving a try. I think there's a train show in Vandalia, and later in the month we're going to give that a different try in that too. So we're really looking forward to doing more train shows. Glenda and myself.
This
doing
is
the
a
shows.
family affair. Glenda, you and your son, Zach,
Yes.
all work together.
Oh, well, try to do what we can to that. Zachary helps me try to, carry what I can, but most of it, seems to be me.
I know at St. Charles we came out, and man, you guys were busy.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
That was good
Well,
to see.
you had sent me a text saying, "Oh, hey, where are you in that?" And then you came by, and
Yeah.
it was just it was hard to.
I walked by you like 6 times.
Yes,
Blind old me, just
Yes, and you're inside your booth, and it's hard to keep it's hard to find where you're at, that type of thing. But it has been very nice to have the good shows in that. So
The news from Springfield, Massachusetts was great. I've heard totals on how many folks that they had there, and it was just gangbusters with regards to, Denny Elsma told us that he sold a lot of product, a lot of jackets, a lot of the new hats. He gave away over 100 or so What's Neat hats, maybe 150 of those to various folks.
Yeah.
He sent us a lot of photographs, and he also sent some videos to us of that show where he interviewed the folks at Spring Creek and different other manufacturers. I remember Broadway Limited, he shared their booth with us, and I want to be able to figure out how to get those videos out of my cell phone. I need maybe, my son's not here, maybe you can
I can
can
probably
figure it out
help
in
you
that.
then, Yeah.
rock and roll. I talked to Robert Steers tonight at rocamodels.com. That's the gentleman that created these beautiful safe pack auto racks that we've got on the table tonight. He said that, and I'm going to show various photographs of them right now as I explain. He said that all of the pre-orders now at this point are all being shipped out. They're coming to the very end of pre-orders. They've sold a great deal of these, and I believe the run is getting close to being maybe 25% left. So if there's anything that you might be interested in, check them out at rocamodels.com. We love you, Dr. Robert Steers. Thank you very much for helping us promote the hobby, and thank you for giving these safe packs. You gave me 2, you gave Mike Buddy 2, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So thank you very much for that. Super accurate models, 4 different variations he created, and from what I hear, there's a lot more other models coming down the pike. So look forward to that news, and we'll have it here first in the show. Now, Steve, tell us about this beautiful thing sitting on my driveway.
Well, we decided with some of the changes that have been going on with the life and that aspect that we needed to update the pickup truck that we have.
Look
and
at this video.
We decided that we did a full wrap, vinyl images out in Fenton, Missouri. They've done the wrap before, the famous red van that Ken spotted me with years ago. So we decided to do a whole brand new total truck, just something to stand out, and I truly believe it does stand out. So I was glad that we picked it up yesterday. They had it for about a week or so of getting the old images off of it and putting the new one on. But that's why I was glad to bring it by tonight and see if it flags you down.
It was beautiful. Folks have seen it. They just saw the B-roll. It's absolutely impressive, so professional, and yes, I would chase you down the street.
Yes, that's it.
To find out who you are,
but,
right?
No, we're very, Glenn and I are very proud that we picked out this design and that kind of stuff, and it really looks good. We can't wait to have the trailer behind the truck and go to as usual, go to our next train show and just have people stop and look at it and go from there. So.
Well, I've always found those vinyl wraps pretty interesting because you can put some really complex paint jobs on a car that it just kind of shrinks onto it, and
yes,
and then it's pretty durable and all that. Thought of that as a way to put a war bonnet on a car yet still have resale value that will come off later on.
Yes, it really is the way we've had it for how many years on the van, that aspect, and it stays true to it and that, and it's. Yeah, there's just the 4 or 5 options they gave us to pick from. It was just amazing of what they can do of the wrap to put on different things to go with it and that. So this one really made a difference in that. So
look at how the various prototype railroads throughout the world have used wraps. Amtrak in this country has been doing a great deal with their electrics that run out on the East Coast. Bachman Industries has been faithfully reproducing a lot of those, which you can see on the What's Neat show at Model Railroad Hobbyist magazine, where we feature Bachman usually every month with updates on new products because they come out with so much stuff every single month. But yeah, Amtrak is really big on wrapping their locomotives and presenting this beautiful, one of the AC 60s?
Yeah.
64s,
Yeah.
the electrics, they had this whole city of New York on the side of the locomotive. It was absolutely exquisite. You can probably Google that and find that out there. All right, James Regier, you successfully created these thrashers out of nothing, otherwise known as 3D printing,
Yeah.
which was the big subject matter, again, that Joe Fugate's survey pointed out that a great many modelers out there want to learn a lot about. So share with us this art.
Well, so I actually learned a few things in the printing process that different resins, in fact, have different properties and characteristics. That the first, I tried a different brand of resin than I normally use. Claimed to also be PLA-like. It was a clear resin from Elegoo. I wound up with a goopy mess.
okay.
And the same one, yeah, I wound up with a goopy mess. The exact same settings yielded me 4 really nice threshers, with the normal Ceratec resin that I use. So
Okay.
that's an interesting factor that I did not know. Is just because it says it's PLA-like resin, across the different brands, you still need to pay attention. You need to pay attention to the color, because the different colors will, of course, absorb that UV light in different ways, and the resin will react differently as a result. So yeah, I was able to print 4 of these printers in a batch, or 4 of these threshers in a batch, and I've done them in kit form, and they're posable just about however I want to pose them. So that's the steam tractor, which I've also done in.
So theoretically, you could sell these to a modeler that might want them.
That's right. That's the idea, that there have been people saying, well, where can I get one? And so I'm wanting to eventually make these available, but make it so that it's as easy as scraping it off the print face, that I don't have to worry about sorting the parts or anything like that. Here it's all in one, all on a single sprue. So the threshers, of course, configurable however you want them. The the axle tongue here is a separate piece so that you can have it towed along by your tractor to the field.
Okay.
This entry ramp for the hay or for the wheat is also a separate part that you can pose it for the stored position.
Oh, wow.
And then the grain auger also separately applied. The chaff chute also separately applied. So the idea is that from one kit that you can get several different versions of the model out of it.
Okay.
Now, I wouldn't recommend. My daughter was saying, "Dad, I thought you said that all the spouts would be movable and stuff." And I'm like, "Well, yes, they are movable, but when you assemble the model, of course, it's best to glue them in place because it's resin and it'll break if you move it around too much." But this one here is in its configuration as it would be active threshing wheat, and I didn't have time to put a little wagon with freshly harvested wheat to be put onto to be loaded into the thresher, then probably a static grass pile of chaff and straw would go underneath this spout, and then another little cart would be receiving the grain from the thresher there.
Wow.
One of the interesting things, Don Hopf is one person that sent me a bunch of different photos of these threshers, and in fact an entire catalog from the Case threshing company, including the statistics and the schematics for all of their steam tractors that they were making right about the turn of the last century. So there's been a lot of resources out there, but he sent me several videos where you can watch these things work. And one thing that I found interesting is that it's not a steady flow of wheat that comes out as the grain is threshed. It's actually collected right up here in this cup, which measures about the right amount for a sack of grain, and then drops it into the chute.
Wow.
And you can theoretically load your grain sacks from the days before they would just load wagons and transport it that way, because that's much more efficient, or into trucks. These were made as late as the 1950s. I thought they were phased out long before that, but they were available and on the catalog as late as the 1950s.
So this could be a freight car load.
It could be a freight car load. And certainly, if you're in the steam era, it could be a freight car load, or these Case tractors. Even if you go an era before that, I'd imagine Jim Six, for example, in his 19-teens to 1920s layout, might be able to put a few of those on his flat cars for delivery to Fremont, Ohio.
I think another way to do it would be just either airbrush them and or oil paint weather them, and have one of these on a modern era layout sitting trackside or next to the barn, all rusted out and tall grass.
In fact, this model right here, I used some 8K Tech weathering pencils.
Okay.
Put some rust on it and put some grime on it, just to kind of convert it into what I'd call hedgerow junk. That when farmers get done using stuff, it gets parked in that hedgerow and can stay there as the decades and even centuries eventually go on. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with how these models came out. Of course, I haven't added any belts to them yet, but that can come eventually. I'm thinking some kind of thread would probably be the best thing. It's been a fun project, and now I'm getting back into.
I know what's next. You got to build that rocket still.
Well, that rocket. yes, that rocket. We're on these. I've forgotten all about that rocket. But
I'm sorry.
She's going to see this and say, "Dad, that rocket." And I'm like, oh, "Okay." No, actually, I'm getting back to work on the beep.
Okay.
Making some modifications with that, trying to do a 3D printed horn on it, because the available brass parts from Athearn aren't quite right for the beep, because it was a much taller horn manifold or a much taller horn sport, because it had to get above the air conditioner on a very narrow cab. So I'm going to try doing that. I've already gotten it drawn up, and then I'll finally also get back to that drover's car, or the drover's caboose that I've been that I've been kicking around for quite some time and also forgot about at some point.
Okay.
So
A lot of
there's
neat stuff is coming up here in the future weeks of March and April. In fact, we've got some pretty heavy hitters from the prototype railroad that are going to be on the show, which I look forward to. This will be a treat. A lot of neat stuff is going on. Just because it's summertime, getting into spring here doesn't mean the hobby's slowing down, because it's not. There's a lot of folks out there that are dedicated like me and James and Steve and Richard and Mike Buddy, and just go through the list of all of our favorite modelers out there. And, you know, otherwise, this is the best hobby in the world. And these are the type of people that we love to share the hobby and have on the show with us. It's absolutely amazing.
I can't wait to see what Steve Hurt comes out with this year.
Wow,
I mean,
RPM.
my
I'm hearing
goodness.
a lot of folks are coming to the RPM
Yeah.
meet this, and it's going to be here before you know it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, tax season's what, I say 5 weeks away?
Yeah.
So with that, guys, is there anything else? Can we finally run some trains? Because I want to tonight.
All right, let's do it.
Let's take the NCE Pro Cab system that we have here. This is a system that runs in the basement with 2 radios, one on each side of the basement, and the ceiling tile pointing downward, so we get good radio reception all the way around the room. Although, you know what? You always like to use your cell phone. I see that when you're running trains down here. So it's adaptable. Check out their website, ncedcc.com. There's a lot of other peripherals on the website that help you upgrade and build up the system. Plus, they've got decoders for your locomotives. They've got the wiring. So many neat things that Jim Scorse and his friends out there have created for us to make the layout run just that much better. I always say it all the time. The reason we love it is because it simply works. You don't have to pay attention to buttons. You just look at your trains and have fun, which is what we're going to do tonight. So, gentlemen, what do you say? Best hobby in the world?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
best.
Let's go run some trains.
Let's go run some trains.
Okay, what do you want to do for a thumbnail? I think we should do a show sometime where we're just running trains. Literally have the cameras roam around the room and show what's going on from module to module. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I think that would be a great, interesting way. And people want to see stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they do want to see the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff, and just what you have here and that. Yes.
I know, they always like it when we run trains for once.
Oh yeah.
We do that.
Makes sense.
All right, guys, you want to create a thumbnail here on the layout? The layout is going to be running. Let's just do it here so we can save a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to hold up? Oh, by the way, I did put that flyer on the show when you talked about it.
Okay. Good. Let me have all the cars too.
Smile and wave,
I
ready?
like that
Show
one.
some teeth. Here we go. And now. And that's how we do that. All right, go ahead and kill camera 2. We'll let 1 roll just in case we need some additional B-roll for the credits. Wow. Oh, wait till, I mean, God, wow, I can't even say who's going to be on. I can't say it yet. But it's going to be good. Okay, killing sound.
He has you on a